Mandalorian Season 2. I like Season 2 more than Season 1. I'm just gonna say that right off the bat. Because this season actually has a story. And all the episodes kind of relate to it. Well, except like 2 of them, which is episode 2 and 4, don't really. But they have a connection. Unlike Season 1, where 5 out of the 8 episodes are actually story-wise, this feels like an actual progression in the story. There's a goal to get Grogu, that's his name, we could say his name now, Grogu, we could take him to the Jedi. I wonder who that's gonna be. You all know who it is. You've seen the clip already, even if you haven't watched the show. Luke shows up at the end. It's kind of cool. Wish I didn't know about it beforehand, because it would have been cooler if I didn't know, but, I thought I would have never seen it myself from the actual episode, but I'm glad I did. Glad I got to watch The Mandalorian or all seasons right now, because I don't know if I'll have Disney Plus by the time Season 3 comes around. I don't know, so I'm glad I got to watch it, the first 2 seasons at least, and I like Season 2 more. I think it has a better story, it's better executed, the episodes are much better than Episode 1, because I think you have to keep in mind Season 1 was more experimental with what they're trying to do, the first live-action Star Wars show to come out, so I think they need to kind of test stuff out. They're experimenting, which is fine, because they honed it in Season 2, what they wanted. The technology has improved, well, except the CGI Luke face, that has not aged. Well, it looked kind of good, but when I watched it, it's very rubbery, that's what I can call it. Very, you've seen it. I think all the complaints that other people have about his face and how it moves has already been complained about already. I'm not going there. It's alright. It serves its purpose, and I'm glad it did. And I think this whole entire season wraps up the 16... The finale wraps up the 16 episodes of story, and makes it kind of watchable, because I watched Season 1 and 2 back to back, basically, and it was seamless. It was just the progression. It didn't feel like there was, like, a gap, really. It didn't feel like the technology improved, because when you watch, like, let's say, like, animation, you can see the animation improve, but with live action, these seasons came out a year apart, but they feel like one continuous story, so it's actually really good. And Season 2 is, I'm talking about it now because that does matter, because if it didn't, and it was kind of obvious, because if they were to go more into the whole, like, Grogu success, then that would have been more apparent, but it wasn't. The way Grogu was handled was pretty much the same way in Season 1, except, of course, more focused, because the story revolves around him, so of course he has more to do in it, where in Season 1 he didn't, because it was more Mandalorian, or Mando season. He's just protecting Grogu in Season 1, but in Season 2 he's going to bring him to this Jedi, being Luke Skywalker. So the episodes, once Episode 5 hits, then that's where the story actually picks up, because every episode there is kind of like this, from Episode 1 to Episode 5, it was just like this chain of going to this person, to that person, to that person. And in Episode 5, you meet Ahsoka in live action, which her mannerisms are almost the same as in the Clone Wars. I noticed that Ahsoka did the arm cross thing, which I'm like, oh, that's cool Easter egg, because if you don't watch the Clone Wars, pretty much every humanoid character in the Clone Wars animated show folds their arms as like a default kind of position when they're just like talking to someone else. So I'm glad that they kept that in. They decided, hey, let's just have her just cross her arms while she's talking to Din Djarin. I like that little detail. There's things like that I like, especially with the Clone Wars characters brought to live action. They're done very well. And Boba Fett is awesome in this season, and I hope he does more awesome things in the Book of Boba Fett. Hopefully, maybe. The internet doesn't think otherwise of that, but right now, Boba Fett is cool. He's a cool-ass character. There's a post-credit scene at the end of the finale, and it was cool. Basically setting up the Book of Boba Fett, and I like how there's that connection there. And I like the season. I don't think, like, of course the bad episode is the second episode because it kind of was pointless, and I watched it and I'm like, this is kind of pointless. Can we just move on, please? Like, I want to get to the better stuff, which obviously that did happen. I think season 2 you would say kind of a problem is that every episode feels like a spin-off waiting to happen, and that's what I'm saying. Like, these episodes feel more like spin-offs waiting to happen rather than actual episodes, but they're still episodes. Like, they still progress Mando's story, but they're more spin-offs waiting to happen, which I feel like that's kind of the thing I'm noticing with Disney Plus shows so far, is that whenever a character is introduced, and then in the recap, they show them again, they're most likely going to show up again. And most likely they're gonna have more to do, especially in season 2. Because basically this show is a setup for other shows, which I'm fine with, but you have to give them something to do. Give them character development in this show, and same with the spin-off shows. Give them character development, and I'm fine. So, where does it lie among everything else in my rankings? Mandalorian Season 2 is above Season 1 of Mandalorian, but below Return of the Jedi, and I think it's at a good place. It's not like the best thing in the world. It's like in the middle of the ranking. It's a fair ranking. It's not amazing compared to like everything else on this list, but it's a pretty good season, a pretty strong, good season I think people are going to be talking about for the rest of the time. Do you agree or disagree with that ranking? I'm curious, because I think in my Season 1 ranking of Mandalorian, I was kind of critical of it. I didn't mean to be that critical of it. It's just those are my opinions when I first watched the show. And a lot of the issues I had with Season 1 of Mandalorian have been fixed and resolved in Season 2. So that's why I'm putting it above Season 1, because I think it did better. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. I'm going to go now, so goodbye everyone.